Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 16, episode 7, and today we're back for the quarter-final of the FA Cup against Manchester City. As the title race is starting to get a bit close in the Premier League, we've got plenty of worries on our mind at the moment. We're also back a few days before it, as we've just had the most exciting message you can get, and you know what time of the year it is. It's the 9th of March, so I'm sure you can work it out, and we'll go and take a look at that at the moment. Don't forget we're on our new schedule now, which is Sunday to Thursday every day at 4:30. We'll have an episode from this Torquay United series. If you're not up to date with the season so far, since we started the new schedule, then please do go back and catch up, as it's certainly been an eventful one thus far. But we're back today as we're going to be facing a quarter-final against City. Unfortunately, since the last episode, where it looked like we were beyond reaching the title race, it has all gone horribly wrong, and we're now on a winless run since then, coming into this quarter-final today. But let's start with the positive, go to our inbox, which is why I came back a bit earlier anyway. Let's go and have a look at the message. I haven't gone and looked at the player yet, but we got our new youth intake, and Andrew Brown looks like he could be one of the best players of his generation, and of course that's a message I've got to show you. We're going to go and meet the player together for the first time, and see if there's anyone else that's special in the intake too. So let's go and have a look at his profile and the rest of the team. Can we see from the message where his best position is? Attacking midfield, right, left and striker. He's from Laverna, so he's not even from England, so this is certainly going to be an interesting one. Is the scouting working out? 1.5 star ability, 4.5 potential, a 16-year-old advanced forward, and we could be about to replace Alex Andrade. Let's go and take a look at his profile, as the rest of the team isn't particularly good. We will go and have a quick look at Kevin Moore as well, as he's got 1 star of current ability and potentially 3 stars of ability too. So let's look at Andrew Brown. Is he going to be any good? Oh, he's not a great finisher, which is a bit of a shame. Not the best composure either. I'm not seeing why he's the best player of a generation. He's a very good young player, an American who's surely going to be a big international for them, a professional personality which is fantastic, but he doesn't strike me as someone who's going to be incredible, so maybe he will improve quite quickly. So to me he doesn't look any better than Stuart John, but I'm sure he could dispel that very quickly. Let's go and have a look at Kevin Moore as well. He looks a decent player, but a poor personality, not very determined and not the best trainer. That's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But a slightly underwhelming moment after the message, but we are going to give him everything we've got just to try and develop him into a world-class talent. Even if it means giving him the odd game off the wing, we'll certainly do that to keep him happy. But other than that, the youth intake's not very good, so hopefully Andrew Brown will become the star they reckon he will. So with that message over, let's go to the schedule to see what's been happening since the last episode. You're with me for that fantastic win against Arsenal, as we went 10 points clear in the title race, but since then we haven't won a game, and it's all gone horribly wrong in truth. We went out to Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League last 16. It all looked so promising at the start, as we started with our backup 11, as we always said we were going to. Zitinho scored after 5 minutes, a tap in after a corner was dropped down, but then Dubinin equalised in the second half for Dortmund, who were completely on top from that point onwards. Then at home to City in the Premier League, we conceded a late winner to Fonetti. That unfortunately lost us the point, which would have kept us more comfortable at the top. And then in midweek away to Burnley, another terrible performance, and in the end we were pretty lucky to get a point. Our attacking players just not in form. If we could get a striker scoring, we'd be flying up the league, but now we've got Rutherford on a goal drought, still not scored since that game against Sheffield United, all the way back on the 8th of January, and Alex Andrade scored that one in the cup, but unfortunately no goals for him since. So 5 games without a goal for him, and he's starting to look a bit pear-shaped for us. I really do worry we could bottle the title now, as we start to go on a bit of a dodgy run. And of course the game at the weekend against City won't help. We're playing a top-class side in the Premier League. It is the last game before a 2-week international break though, so we will go into it as strong as possible. We'll skip through to match day and be back in a moment to hopefully get to the FA Cup semi-finals. Okay, we're back for the FA Cup quarter-final against City, and there's already been a shock today. Sheffield United beat Manchester United on penalties. Tottenham have made it through, obviously our closest rivals in the title race, but there's just the two big boys left after this one, so hopefully we'll be able to avoid them in the semi. But to do that we've got to get past Manchester City, and you can see Gerben Bacanes has not made it back to fitness for this one. So as we go and get into the match, as there's another big game in the Premier League too, it's going to be very difficult without our skipper. We've really struggled in the last 3 games since he's been injured, and Manchester City are in strong form. They've often done well against us in the past too, so I'm not too confident going into this one. Let's just see if we need to make any changes. I want to stay pretty loyal to these lads, as they have done remarkably well this season, so we're just going to swap the goalkeepers over. Mason Smith plays in the FA Cup. Aside from that, it will be our first 11. So we've got Mason Smith in goal, Cisse and Moraes are the fullbacks, with McDonnell and Hole at centre half. Raphael still deputising in the holding role. A solid player, but certainly no Bacanes. Just 2.5 star ability according to our assistant, rather than the 4 to 4.5 that Bacanes has. It's Keita and Omar in central midfield, both in their worst form of the season. And then Sousa and Kozul, the 2 top scorers on the wings, with Andrade up front, who I'm actually going to replace with Rutherford today. I'm getting a bit annoyed that he keeps missing his chances, so we're going to get the hero back in up front, and hopefully he'll have a very special day. So let's go and get into this game against City, and fingers crossed we can get through to the semi-finals and put ourselves in the frame to defend our FA Cup title. Here we go then, a 4-2-3-1 for City. They have made a couple of changes in fairness. They've got their backup keeper in, which is unusual. The likes of Selper and Carrick not regular starters. And the match winner from the league game isn't starting. Fanetti on the bench, the number 9. But they've still got a good side out. Duday plays plenty of games. The man we tried to sign in our first Premier League season. We obviously were linked with Selper in the past as well. And Rhodes and De Ligt are still their first choice defenders. Lettieri up front scored the equaliser in the Community Shield back at the start of the season, so there's still plenty of very strong players there, and they've got lots of first teamers on the bench if need be. But let's go and talk to the lads. We're going to tell them to go out and prove a point. It seems to be what Stuart Jellin says every game now, regardless of whether we've won or lost beforehand. There's certainly a bit more incentive to win the match, mainly because City beat us in the league game, and that's the reason we've got to worry about this now. Otherwise we could have celebrated the Premier League title. It's Omar over halfway on the left hand side as we keep the ball from the kick-off. Raphael switches it to Sousa, but Selper heads it away. The highlight ends, but we're back a minute later as Cisse's got a long throw on the left. It's headed away as far as him again. He finds Keita and now Omar. Tries to get it to Kozul on the right, who's been switched over to the opposite flank. Sousa loses out as the ball's across the front post, and now Evans can counter for City. He's charging down the left, but Raphael recovers brilliantly and wins it back deep in our own half. Sousa brings it forward to Keita. Omar on halfway down the right, headed away by Selper, but Omar strong to get there first. Come to Kozul on the edge of the box. He shoots just over the bar, and it was a very long highlight, but it didn't end with a goal, and it remains 0-0 after 5 minutes. It's a throw on the left for City. Just over 10 minutes gone now. Duday's got the ball and he's composed at the back and he's cleared long downfield at McDonnell clears. He's fallen to Alonso in midfield though. He's charging down the right unopposed. Into the box, it falls for Lettieri, but his shot hits the defender. I don't think he knew much about it. A quarter of an hour gone and it's still goalless, but City really starting to get on top now. Is Montero back to Alonso in midfield. He gets it into Carrick, the number 10. Alonso again out to the right, and Rhodes the fullback plays a 1-2. Into Duday, our former transfer target, and out to Selper on the left. His delivery finds Montero, but the header's poor and it's straight into the arms of Mason Smith, the deputy goalkeeper comfortably holding. 10 to the break and it's Omar with a free kick on the right. Hull flicks it on at the front post, but he's straight into the arms of Mulder. He holds it comfortably and clears long. A big kick, but Moraes can get there first, and he'll play it out to McDonnell. Now Omar to Kozul on halfway. Charging down the left, it seems like he's running into a blind alley, but in the end he goes back to Moraes, and he finds Omar in midfield. He's got Rutherford ahead of him into Sousa. Brilliant reverse ball, but he hits the post. Should have scored from there. He had half the goal to aim at, but unfortunately Unfortunately, it's back off the woodwork and straight into the keeper's arms. But it's Sousa charging down the right again. He cuts it inside to Raphael. Now Omar 30 yards out. Out to the left back Moraes, but it's really undercooked. And Montero wins it back and goes to the keeper, who clears long downfield to the centre forward. Out to the left hand side for Evans. Now Selper the fullback supporting. Long ball in which is headed away, but it only falls for Duday. He's got a man over on the right. Dan Rhodes the overlapping fullback. The cross beats everyone. It's in that corridor and he's headed away at the second attempt. Alonso shoots, but it's blocked off the City player, and we survive with a goal kick with just 5 minutes until the break. It's a free kick for Rutherford 20 yards out, straight into the wall and out for a throw-in. Why we saw that I'm not quite sure. Certainly wasn't a good highlight. Another free kick just 2 minutes later, but this one's comfortably over the bar. A minute to the break, it remains goalless. Been a decent half of football so far. It's a free kick for Rutherford 30 yards out, hits the wall and falls for Kozul. Now it's Cater on the right hand side. Duday does well to get the ball back. He clears long downfield, Cisse hoofs it at the other end, and now Rutherford's got it on the byline. The lead heads away to Omar. Kozul on the edge with a chance to shoot. He finds Sousa, and he's adjudged to be offside, but he put it wide anyway, and it is going to be 0-0 at the break. There we go then, 0-0 here at the City of Manchester Stadium. Been a pretty decent performance so far. We're going to tell the lads to keep it up, just as Stuart Jelling recommends. It's Carrick out to the left back Selper. He gets it in midfield to Duday. City with a kick-off in the second half, and the highlight ends pretty quickly. It's Cisse with a throw in an attacking position. Sousa into Kozul, who heads it just wide. It had beaten the keeper, but unfortunately it beats the post too. And with 5 gone in the second half, another chance goes begging for Torquay. Again, Omar's having a poor game in the middle. This has happened 3 or 4 times in a row now. When Bacanes isn't in the side, Omar really struggles to perform well. There's an hour gone, so we'll think about changes now, and the first one's going to be Omar for Lappin. We'll switch Cater over into the advanced playmaker role. Lappin's comfortable as the Mazzala. We'll give it 5 more minutes and make a second sub to hopefully try and seal us the cup tie. City have bought on a wonder kid. Guilherme is his name, but Lappin, our own sub on the edge of the box, forces a brilliant save out of Mulder. The City keeper tips it over the bar, and now Sousa's got an in-swinging corner. Lettieri beats McDonnell in the air, is headed away to the edge of the box, and we're back with a throw on the right now, as Cisse finds Sousa. Lappin shoots and is headed away. Lettieri can counter again, but we're going to go and make our second sub. Kozul's going to be replaced by Silla. He is a better player on paper, so hopefully he'll deliver a strong performance. City have wanted to sign him, and that's why he's been unhappy for so long. So what better time to put in a brilliant performance and prove that they desperately need him. It's Selper on the left hand side with a free kick though, and Castano shoots from miles out. I thought that was going to go in the top corner, but in the end it hit the roof of the net. Just 10 minutes to go and we will make our third sub, and we're going to replace Sousa with Yeladian. He's a brilliant player and a really big summer signing. He hasn't delivered so far this year, but we're going to get him on for the last 10 minutes and hope he can produce some heroics. But we come back with Finetti charging down the left for City, into the front post, Hull heads away, only to Evans though, whose shot's blocked, and Cater hacks it clear in a hurry. A minute plus stoppage time remaining in this match, and I think we could be going to extra time. It's a goal kick for City, into 4 minutes added on, long ball downfield from Mulder, McDonnell cushions it down, and it's gone to Moraes the left back. Cater switches it, it's an awful ball, and it's won back by City in midfield. Here's Evans coming over halfway on the left, trying to beat his man but goes inside to Finetti. He's dropped into the number 10 role now as Castano plays a 1-2 with Guilherme. The wonder kid substitute keeps it in midfield and he goes to Rhodes the right back. Now Montero taking on the fullback. Early delivery to Lettieri, heads it down but it's straight to Mason Smith. A really easy one for the keeper to deal with. City charging forward into stoppage time here. Finetti over halfway again. It's blocked by Lappin but back to Castano. He finds Selper at left back. Back to Albano, a long ball through. Lettieri's in one-on-one. That is absolutely awful defending. McDonnell's lost his man on the edge of the box, and we've thrown away the cup tie in stoppage time. We're going to go very attacking, but it'll make no difference at this point. There's not much else we can do tactically. 2 minutes to go, and we've thrown it away, and it's another defensive error. 4 games without a win this will be, and we're out of 2 competitions in 2 weeks. I'm starting to feel like that old Arsenal side. Remember, every February or March, it was just assumed they were going to collapse and go out of 3 competitions, and their season would be over in a month. I'm starting to feel like we might be doing the same. Unfortunately, we've not got long to save this. It means we can focus on the Premier League, but it could all go wrong if we don't get back to winning ways. Mason Smith forced into another save, and the last 30 seconds see City on the attack. It's Castano in the middle with a switch of play. Evans picks it up on the left. We've performed so well for so long in this game, and we've thrown it away with a silly error, and it's our most experienced and best player, McDonnell, who's made a stupid defensive howler. It's Montero with an in-swinging delivery. As soon as this ball's cleared, the highlight will end, as will the match. McDonnell heads it straight into the path of De Ligt, and Noah Yaladian gets it off the line. The full-time whistle goes, and we've lost it in the 92nd minute. We will not be defending our FA Cup title this year. Manchester City will likely go on and win it. Tottenham, they're only hurdling the way. We've got to get back to focusing on the Premier League now, but we've got more big games coming up in the near future, and we're now only 5 points clear of Tottenham. So what seemed just 3 weeks ago to be a guaranteed Premier League title and a possible chance in the Champions League and FA Cup has now become a really tense, nervy title race with no other competitions to play for. Aside from Tottenham, I don't think anyone can catch us. City and Arsenal will be 10 points behind with the same games played, presuming Arsenal win their game in hand. So it is going to be a 2-horse race from here, and obviously we've got to play Tottenham yet as well. We fall to a late defeat, not much more said in the media really, a pretty even game, a succession of fouls from Manchester City, not their usual rhythm. On a quick side note, Jurgen Klopp has been sacked for the 2nd time by Liverpool in this series, but we don't need to worry about that at the moment. We've got plenty enough on our own plate. So we've got a couple of big games coming up this month. Watford at home after the international break. We have to win that one or it's title race over, as United will then surely beat us. That's going to be a really difficult game, and then we'll be back on camera for Tottenham away. That's going to be the title decider. By then Tottenham could be in the lead of the title race, depending on how well we do in the next 3 games. So hopefully 2 weeks off will refresh us. We'll go and play a friendly for our backup side, just to try and increase the morale again, and we'll do plenty of work on the training ground to make sure we're in tip-top shape for the end of the season. We'll do plenty of work on our attacking and finishing, as we really need a striker to score goals, but hopefully our special youth intake talent will develop and become that man in the future. But if you did enjoy this episode and seeing us crash out of another competition, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I know there's a bit of a balance between people who like to see us succeed and those who like to see a bit of realism and how we deal with adversity. So those of you will probably enjoy that defeat, particularly as it was a kick in the teeth late on. I don't mind, I appreciate it entirely. I hate watching other series where people win every single game, so it is good to see that little bit of reality and the odd defeat, particularly in big games and big competitions. But I do really hope we can get back to winning ways and try and now wrap up the Premier League title. There's nothing else standing in our way or distracting us, so the lads haven't really got an excuse. They might try and say they've never been here before, but that's not going to cut it for me. As we come towards the end of the season, let me know if you think we will stumble over the line and start to tell me where you think we should improve in the summer. We've obviously got a big signing coming in at centre half, and based on our budgets we can probably only get one more, so where do you think we should be improving? For me it's going to be one of the wings. We're struggling up front, but Andrade is a good player. I'm just not quite sure what the answer is this season. We might well take him off set pieces. I know he's the best taker, but let's get him in the box and see if he can score a scrappy goal or two. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. We've got new episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 on our new schedule, as well as some episodes coming up over the next few weeks where we'll outline our plans for FM20 and react to the big news announcements about the game. I'm sure they won't be far away now, so keep your eyes peeled for those on the channel. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that continues to support that series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. I really have been blown away by the views on both, so many thanks for giving it a try, and if you haven't already, please do check it out, and I hope you continue to enjoy the content. There's also weekly career mode videos from Snooker 19. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're into the final event of the series now as we go through the season-ending World Championships week by week and round by round, hoping we can go on a run to the final. We want to emulate Ronnie O'Sullivan, our namesake, and win the Snooker World Championships, but of course that's going to be easier said than done, so I hope you'll join me for the ride in that one. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for a big title decider as we go to Tottenham in the Premier League running.